Hi everyone, it's Natalie here, and welcome to my channel. So especially if you're new, it's very lovely to have you here. So the 31 Days of Tarot is, it's my first time. It's my first time, so I'm delighted to take part in it. It's such a cool way to just get to know other people and share fun things and learn more about yourself as other people share about themselves as well. So today's prompt, and today is day 11. I'm sure of that because the prompt is about the High Priestess. So what is your favorite depiction of the High Priestess and why? The High Priestess just so happens to be my birth card. Which I did not know or find out until last year. Or if I knew it, let's put it this way, it didn't go in, didn't register. And anyway, I went through a phase of time where I just dismissed anything to do with tarot because I needed to rebel. I think, when you're dealing with a parent, or something that's overbearing, and feels like it's kind of limiting your understanding somehow, rebelling is a natural response to that. So I did a little rebelling at a certain point, and it's amazing. I couldn't forget much anyway, but if I knew it before, it was not something that went in very deeply. Let's put it that way. So my favorite of all time depiction of the High Priestess is not going to be a big surprise to very many people, but it is from the Marielle Tarot first edition. And what I love about this particular High Priestess is the rawness of her. She has come out of the abyss. And I'm looking at her in a completely different way right now. If those of you who watch Shuffle Tarot, which is Nina's channel, there is a Guardian Tarot that she just did a review of. And I just am aware of how much the fingers and hands of this High Priestess look like that. And it had never quite gone in that way before until today. But there's something about this High Priestess that also reminds me of a very impactful dream that I had many years ago that was very life-changing. And that's, I think, another topic for another time, but suffice it to say, the knowledge that she holds isn't just a book, right? It's not just, or even best represented by a book. There's something very raw, very earthy, very embodied, and it tells me that she is of the abyss, she is of the depths, as much as it is that she has emerged from the depths, or that she holds the knowledge and the wisdom of the depths. Yeah, I don't know, that there's something about it. She's not fully human, which kind of gives you space, to roam in the imaginal realms of what it is, what the abyss is, or what the High Priestess is, or what her role is. I also don't feel like she's necessarily guarding anything, although we could say that she is, because of the sort of drape provided here by this. This is clearly some kind of a veil or drape. But yeah, and she's got like this incredible moon, full, it's not just a crescent moon, there's a full moon behind her, and this incredible headdress, and yeah, I don't know. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I love that. And I just the rawness of it, It's not verbal. It's not a verbal wisdom. It's an embodied wisdom. It's not an intellectual wisdom. It's embodied. And it's very distinctly feminine. It very distinctly belongs to a woman. But the feminine aspects of it, it feels to me, are less personal. because she's not a person, right? She doesn't look like a fully human. She's got 4 breasts, you know. So it could be a feminine aspect within a man as well. Because she's coming from the depths, she's coming from shadow, so she could live in the shadow of, you know, someone who is physically embodied as the male gender this time around without losing any power. And I love that. I love and appreciate that part of it as well, because it doesn't feel like then that she is outside of the perspective of where a man could be. You know, she could be something that a man embodies. So, love this one. But since everybody's breaking the rules all the time anyway with this one, I thought maybe I would throw out a couple other favorites as well. Because why not? So one of my other favorite representations of the High Priestess comes from, oh wow, are we noticing how much blue is happening here? And it's in my ring. There's a lot of blue. Anyway, the Mother Peace Tarot, her High Priestess, again, love it. I love, love, love this depiction of the High Priestess. Again, it's not, I'm not thrilled, and I don't have one right next to me. I'm not thrilled by the traditional, I don't hate it, but, I look like the traditional High Priestess because the traditional High Priestess is very white and very Western. And I actually don't, there's one depiction that I like, and I'll show it in a minute. The rest of the ones that I really tend to be drawn to don't look like me. And I don't know what that's about for me psychologically, but I feel like there's something psychological there that I probably could spend some more time with. But I love that this is a High Priestess from another culture. It feels like a more African culture. And I don't, the other thing I realized too, looking at this, I don't know what, feel like there's a god that she may be representing that I have not encountered with, in text yet, which I eventually will, but that I've actually encountered with on, in journeying, and in other places. I saw a being that was more male than female, like this in a park. This is bizarre. Sorry, I'm going off in another direction here, but that had this, something like this going on. Anyway, and it obviously made a huge impression on me at that time and has never left. What I also love about this card, is her pelvis in contact with the earth like this. She is wide open. So the veil is literally the skirt, her grass skirt. And the wisdom that she holds is fully embodied. It is not an intellectual wisdom. It's not patriarchal wisdom, which I often feel is kind of what we're getting with, maybe that's what it is. In Western depictions of the High Priestess, she's holding a book. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just that, I'm bored with that because not all wisdom and not all intelligence is something that can be named. And I feel like the High Priestess is representing something that is beyond the knowledge of a book. And this depiction gives her that physical embodied wisdom in a way that is so powerful and so beautiful. I wish I could emulate it. I want to embody in that way. Yeah. As I look at how to fulfill, and embody as a High Priestess, as my birth card, how do I do it in a more embodied manner? Yeah. Love that. And then finally, how bad is this? This is not good. It's not the worst. Okay. Finally, the Pythia. So this comes from the Dark Goddess Tarot by Ellen Lorenzi Prince. I'm sorry it's out of print at this point. And I don't know if it's ever going to come back in print. I really wish it would. I know a lot of people would really love to get a copy. And I would love to see the Tarot of the Crone brought back into print too, by the way, Arnell, if you're listening, or Ellen. Sorry, ladies, but it's wonderful and we love it. And I always wanted it. But yeah, this depiction of the Pythia, which is a very gentle depiction of the Pythia. I mean, as I understood it, the Pythia would, they were, it's actually plural. There wasn't one, there were many, like an order of Pythia in ancient Greece. And they would sit over the oracle at Delphi where there was gas coming up out of the earth. And they would breathe it in and it would kind of alter their state of being. And they would prophesy from that place. And I've always kind of thought, my life would have been so much easier in so many ways if I had just been able to do something like that, and not, where I could live in an order of people and the main things in life were taken care of. And yes, it's, I'm sure I would have plenty of complaints in that lifetime as well. But, the ability to just be in that space and just be a vessel, basically, be a vessel, a divine vessel, feels right to me on some level. And I remember when I was training as in seminary as a Buddhist, I wanted to be a Buddhist monastic, and so when I was going through the earlier phases of preparation for that as a novice, and I would serve at the temple, it felt very natural just to sit and be a vessel for the teachings, and to just kind of let them through, because when you're not worried about yourself and the teachings and the things that come through are the most important, that felt very easy to access. So that there is a big part of me that, the High Priestess part of me that would like, to be out of the way so that all there is just that coming through. And I hope too, like that is also what I aspire to when I read, when I read for others, is that, that the ego part is out of the way so that the wisdom and the knowledge can just be what comes through instead. Yeah. So beautiful image. The Dark Goddess Tarot. Wonderful, wonderful deck. So those are my three High Priestesses who I love for three very different reasons. Yeah. They're all very powerful for very different reasons as well. So that's it for today. I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.